I want to talk to you about how to rejuvenate intimacy into your marriage.
We're bringing sexy back. We're bringing sexy back.
Let's get it started. Harder, won't you give it up?
Hello, beautiful lady. Yes, I am talking to you. It is Thursday, and you know what goes down here on Thursday. Wife Life with Dr. Gail goes down here on Thursday. So do me a huge favor. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button and the little bell right next to it so you will know when I go live. And so tonight, I want to talk to you about how to rejuvenate intimacy into your marriage. How to rejuvenate intimacy back into your marriage. Because do you know that 85% of marriage couples poll said that they no longer have intimacy in their marriage? They no longer feel that connection that they felt to their spouse when they first married them. And let me just clear something up for you. Intimacy and sex are two separate things. They do not have anything to do with one another. And so many people get that confused. And let me just tell you this. Prostitutes have sex all the time with no intimacy. But when you have intimacy and you have sex with a person, it is amazing, it's explosive, and it's something that you all want to experience. So when you add intimacy along with sex, it is amazing. But statistics are saying that we as married couples are having sex with no intimacy, and that's the reason why we're feeling empty, we're not feeling connected, and we're not feeling like we're one, okay? And so let me just give you the definition of intimacy. Intimacy is mutual vulnerability, openness, and sharing. It is allowing someone to see inside of you with no walls, no filters. It's allowing somebody to be in your personal space that you love, that you trust, and that you can be vulnerable with. And that is one of the most important things that I want to get across when it comes to intimacy, is being vulnerable, right? And with your spouse, you should be able to be so vulnerable that you're supposed to be able to get naked and not feel any kind of way. But again, 85% of couples are saying that that's not happening. So I want to just talk about some of the reasons why we are not able to be intimate with our spouses. Some of it is unforgiveness. We're holding on to past hurts, past failures, past things. So that's number one. Number two is stress. We're so stressed out that we're not able to be vulnerable, have conversations, allow ourselves to relax. Number three, health issues, right? Health issues can keep us from being intimate with our spouses, right? Some men are suffering with erectile dysfunction and they don't want to be vulnerable and tell their spouse, this is why we're not engaging in meaningful sex. Some women are having some issues with menopause and all kind of different things. And so we don't want to be vulnerable with our spouses, so we just pull away. Aging, right? Aging, especially for women, is difficult. It's difficult because our bodies are changing, our skin is changing, our sex drives are changing. It's so many things that are happening, right? Increased responsibilities for caregiving of parents, right? Sometimes as we age, our parents are aging, and a lot of times we have to engage and become caretakers for our parents. And that can literally take away the intimacy. Young children can interfere with intimacy. Having young children, and we as women are a lot of times the main caregiver of a young child. And so we begin to pull away from our spouse because we, tend to that child, and we think that child needs us more than our spouses and all those kind of different things. Financial issues can literally kill intimacy. It can kill sex. It can kill a marriage, to be honest with you. And so these are just some of the things that allows intimacy to leave a marriage. But let me give you 5 steps to get back on the path of intimacy, right? Number one, start to spend quality time with your spouse. Start to spend quality time with your spouse. Quality time that is not on any kind of social media, that is uninterrupted time. And even if you can only carve out 15 to 30 minutes, start doing it on a consistent basis, right? It has nothing to do with sex. Remember, this is just quality time spent together, right? Number two, show your spouse random acts of kindness. I don't care what financial state you're in, start doing the small things. Because when Gil and I was struggling with intimacy, literally we didn't have any money or we were struggling with money. And so I would, I know that he loves York's, peppermint patties kind of things. He loves that candy. And so then I used to go buy a big bag of those things, and I would put one in his car that just says, I love you to New York and back, right? Or stuff like that. I would just do little random things, just small things that I could afford, right? In order to let him know that I was thinking about him, that I loved him, and that I wanted to have meaningful conversations and allow myself to be vulnerable in my marriage. Number three, practice listening. This is huge. Practice listening. Because I used to listen to respond. And I am very guilty of not allowing Gil to finish his sentences, because I was always thinking, how can I defend? How can I respond? What he was saying was not correct. And I want you to implement this. Listen to understand and not listen to respond. That is something that I have to say to myself every single time Gil and I are engaging in conversation. Listen to understand and not listen to respond. Number four, practice looking into your spouse's eyes. This is one of the most important things that you can do to connect with them on a whole different level. And if you guys ever watched the teaching that I did, what a prostitute, porn star, and stripper taught me, I learned this from the stripper. She told me that if I learn to look into my husband's eyes, I will literally connect with him on a whole different level, and I will be able to tell when he's sick, when he's not feeling well, when he's stressed, when he's thinking about something. And let me just tell you, I start implementing that every single week into my marriage. And Gil's and I intimacy went to a whole nother level because I'm able to connect with him spiritually, mentally, and physically. And he's able to do that with me. So start looking in your spouse's eyes. And, it used to be that a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I totally disagree with that now. I agree that if you look into a person's eyes, that is the gateway to their soul. And number five is physical touch. Yes, physical touch. So start holding your spouse's hands, start hugging them, start kissing them, start, giving them sensual massages. All of those kind of things we need. We need as human beings is physical touch. Start physically touching your spouse on a daily basis. It's so important. And let me just give you something that, which I was kind of shocked. The most intimate thing that a couple can do is kissing. And when you kiss your spouse, you not only give them physical touch, you exchange body fluids, and you connect with them spiritually. You get all of that from kissing, and kissing has become so underrated. So implement that into your daily routine as well. Physical touch and kissing and holding hands and cuddling and all of those things. Try to do that on a daily basis, and you will see intimacy go from one level to a whole nother level. I pray that this teaching has opened your eyes and allow you to realize how important intimacy is along with your regular sex life. And again, I love you to pieces. I am here every single Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I will see you next week.
We're bringing sexy back. We're bringing sexy back.
Let's get it started. Why don't you give it up?